experiences in the form of educational programs and based on its obligations under the agency statute and under its supervision. Now, I would like to address those who have shown hostility toward the Iranian nation for about 5 years, offended and accused my people who have contributed to the history and civilization of the world, and I advise them to learn from history and their recent actions. They badly mistreated the great Iranian nation, but they should be careful not to inflict the same on other members of international organizations, and not to sacrifice the dignity of international organizations for the sake of their unlawful wishes. Today, the nations of the world are wide awake and resistant. If you reform yourself, the whole world will be reformed. Nations are inherently good and can coexist peacefully. Those powers should endeavor to serve their own people. Others do not need them. Is it not high time for these powers to return from the path of arrogance and obedience to Satan to the path of faith in God? Would they not like to be cleansed of the impurities, submit to the will of God, and believe in Him? Faith in God means believing in honesty, purity, justice, and compassion for others. They can be certain that they will benefit from purity, honesty, justice, and loving and respecting the human dignity. They can also be certain that such values are more and more considered appropriate, valuable, and beautiful by the nations of the world. This is the invitation of all the divine prophets, from Adam to Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus Christ, and Muhammad, peace be upon him. If they accept this invitation, they will be saved. And if they don't, the same calamities that befell the people of distant past will befall them as well. According to the Holy Quran, one who does not answer the divine call should not think that he has weakened God on earth. He has no companion but God, and he is clearly engulfed by darkness. They have nothing of their own and cannot escape from the dominion of the rule of God and His will. In this important gathering, I have to remind them of the following words of the Almighty, which has been mentioned in the Holy Quran. Do they not look at the powers and governments which came before them? If the people of the past had actually possessed something, they would have kept it and would not have let you possess it now. God destroyed them because of their sins, and nobody could protect them against the will of God. These powers have to know that the thoughts and methods based on oppression and injustice are doomed to failure. Do they not see the signs of vigilance and resistance based on monotheism, philanthropy, and the justice-seeking spirit of the nations of the world? Do they not notice that we are nearing the sunset of the time of empires? I hope that this invitation will have a practical answer. Excellencies, peoples and governments are not obliged to obey the injustice of certain powers. These powers, because of the reasons already mentioned, have lost the competence to lead the world. I officially declare that the age of relations arising from the Second World War, as well as the era of materialistic thoughts based on arrogance and domination, is well over now. Humanity has passed a perilous precipice, and the age of monotheism, purity, affinity, respecting others, justice, and true peace-loving has commenced. It is the divine promise that the truth will be victorious, and the earth will be inherited by the righteous. You who are free, believers, and the people of the world, put your trust in God. You who crave high values wherever you are, try to prepare the grounds for the fulfillment of this great divine promise by serving the people and seeking justice. The era of darkness will end. Prisoners will return home. The occupied lands will be freed. Palestine and Iraq will be liberated from the domination of the occupiers, and the people of America and Europe will be free of the pressures exerted by the Zionists. The tender-hearted and humanity-loving governments will replace the aggressive and domineering ones. Human dignity will be regained. The pleasing aroma of justice will permeate the world, and people will live together in a brotherly and affectionate manner. Striving in this way to surrender rule to the righteous and perfect human, the promised one, is indeed the final cure for the wounds of humanity, the solution of all problems, and the establishment of love, beauty, justice, and a dignified life all over the world. This belief and endeavor is the key to unity and the constructive interaction among nations, countries, the people of the world, and all the true justice seekers. Without any doubt, the promised one, who is the ultimate Savior, along with Jesus Christ and other holy saviors, will come. In the company of all believers, justice seekers, and benefactors, he will establish a bright future and fill the world with justice and beauty. This is the promise of God. Therefore, it will be fulfilled. Come, let's play a part in the fulfillment of all this glory and beauty. I wish for a bright future for all human beings and the dawn of the liberation of and freedom for all humans, and the rule of love and affection all around the world, as well as the elimination of oppression, hatred, and violence. A wish which I expect will be realized in the near future. Thank you very much.